Good morning. I hope you're having a great day. I'm here for Art Joy of Sharing September, and this month we're doing shoutouts of small channels. And I'm going to give you the names of some people that I am, some small channels that I've been watching, and tell you why I watch them. And then I'm going to talk about why we watch videos in general. So if you're not interested in my thoughts on that, of course you can, skip through it or, stop. Um, so in terms of shout outs, I want to shout out my good friend Barb Clark, who does videos on the explorations of me group that Cindy Utter does. And Barb has a lovely soft voice, and her art is very fluid, and she has a spiritual a bent on what she's doing all the time, psychological, spiritual. So she's always thinking like that when she's doing art. And she can talk about it a little bit. So that's nice. Personally, I like that. Um, Sally Van Eyes, who I just discovered, is I think fairly new to YouTube, and she's doing I've been watching her. She experiments with things. I watched her experiment with cold wax, something that I noticed Peg Robinson just did some a video on that too, and it's an interesting medium, and I thought she did some good systematic experimentation with it, so that I felt I didn't have to do that if I didn't want to, right? I like people that like that I can learn things from. And Mickelnay. Yeah, I think that's how she's saying her name. That's the name of her channel anyway. Her real name, I believe, is Michelle. I really like her style. She's doing collabs with Southern Gals, who is a much bigger channel, and they have kind of a similar style. So if you like Southern Gals, you might like Mickelnay. And I really like her style, kind of grungy collage. The things I had looked at, not too much color in them. I thought they were very organic in their development, and I liked that style. And Lisa Swank, who is a very faithful teacher over at My Creative Year, and she is a very small channel, but she's been around for a long time, and I really appreciate her consistent uh, and even though honestly her life has been really difficult, she just keeps going, and I really admire that willingness to plug along. And her art is really fun, so I recommend her to you. Um, now, in terms of why, oh yeah, the links will be in the description box below for those channels. Okay. Um, in terms of why do we watch videos? Well, I mean, why do we watch videos? I mean, I think there's more than one reason to watch, right? I think I certainly started off watching videos to learn something, to learn how to do mixed media because I was new to it. And but I continue to watch videos to learn something specific. And often I'll go to somebody with a bigger channel to do that because chances are they have more skill. That's one of the reasons they have a bigger channel. I mean, let's face it. And then they're long established, of course. Somebody like Peg Robinson, who always, whatever she's doing, she seems to develop a considerable skill at. So when she's doing something, she's often way ahead of me in terms of her skill level. So I like to watch her. But there are people like, you know, there are drawing channels like, oh God, I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're big channels. I'm not supposed to be giving their names. But there are, you know, lots of people out there doing specific things. If you just put that into the search engine, you will get, you know, pouring videos, cold wax videos, you know, art journal videos coming out the wazoo, right? So that's one reason we watch videos. The other reason, several other reasons. Two is we like people's style. We like how they organize their art. You know, somebody like Mike Deacon that you really, I like his stuff. It's his, especially when I was starting out, it had a clear, well organized, thoughtful progression in the page. They weren't kind of organically going through it. He does, I'm sure that it has some of that in it, but it seems to me that it's so well thought out. And that gave me a way into doing the mixed media that I couldn't have found on my own without watching that. You know, then you do this, then you do that, then you do something else, right? And how he found his way through a page was very useful for me. You know, and then the third reason is community. Who do you feel drawn to by their personality, by how they respond to you in comments? And you know what? You know, there are people who you follow simply because, you know, you've developed a friendship with them, and you feel connected to them, even though, you know, they may be thousands of miles away, which is, you know, maybe part of the fun here, you know, because we are a scattered community, and our contact points are often those videos. And you know, there are people like Kylie Koo, who lives all the way over in Scotland, and I follow her religiously because I feel connected to her. She does that kind of psychological, spiritual art that inspires me and makes me want to go to my journals and work. You know, people like Gina, who, you know, I feel, for me, she is a wonderful teacher, and I feel connected to her. There are lots of, you develop a group, I think, of friends that create community, and that is always a good thing, because when life's not always rosy, right? And when it's not, you need those people around to support you and buoy you up, and it's a place for you to give support as well for people whose lives are not easy. So yeah, so those are my thoughts. I go to videos to learn things. I go because I like somebody's style, and I go because, you know, this or that person has become part of my community. Okay, that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope you've had a great day, and that you'll check out the other people doing this and see who else gets shout outs. Okay, see ya.